span of 25 years, there have been a number of professional and amateur champions in racquetball. Obviously, far too many to mention. However, there's a consensus that the following players were the sport's elite. Players who championed their sport and inspired those around them.
Dr. Bud Muehleisen, simply known as Dr. Bud. This champion seemed to get better as he got older. The holder of 7 national paddleball championships, his racquetball greatness started in 1969 when he became the oldest man to win the National Singles Open Championship at age 37. Dr. Bud was a fierce competitor sporting a vast repertoire of shots, from a deadly forehand and overhead to a nasty drop shot. Muehleisen amazingly won 69 national amateur titles. Always a gentleman on the court, Dr. Bud will be remembered as one of the all-time great champions of the sport.
Bill Schmidtke will forever be known as racquetball's cardiac kid. He won national titles in 1971 and 1974 with come-from-behind efforts of gigantic proportions. In the 71 Open singles final, Schmidtke was down 14-3 in the third and deciding game. He proceeded to win 18 points in a row to win the match. In 74, given up for dead, Schmidtke surprised 3 of the game's top players in garnering the national title. No lead was safe when playing Bill Schmidtke. Long remembered as being outspoken, he was also a consummate sportsman.
Some compare our next champion to Muhammad Ali. Either you loved him or you hated him. But no one will dispute the importance of Charlie Brumfield to the sport of racquetball. At his peak, Brumfield was invincible. He won 5 national titles while treating his opponents to a so-called tour of the court, hitting winners often, and at will. Known as the Brum and the Master Psycher, he was the first true celebrity of the sport. And to this day, Brumfield is considered the smartest player to ever play the game.
If one man is synonymous with the game of racquetball and can be credited with single-handedly changing the sport, then Marty Hogan is that man. Considered the greatest player of all time, he changed the sport in the mid-70s with his devastating power game. From 1978 to 1981, Hogan dominated the sport like no man before or after him, with 56 tournament wins. A 6-time national champion, Hogan was never lacking in confidence and will always be known as the Babe Ruth of racquetball.
One of the game's greatest control players, Mike Yellen, ruled the men's pro tour in the mid-80s with an unprecedented 5 straight national titles. An intelligent player with tremendous concentration, Yellin makes very few errors in a match. With his devastating passes, a ceiling game second to none, and well-placed splat and pin shots, he proved that court strategy was still an important part of the game. Still a force on the pro tour, Yellin bridges the gap between yesterday's champions and today's stars. The epitome of consistency, Yellin ranks as one of the sport's all-time greats.